I introduce you to Dr. Joe Griffin, a speaker, consultant, and author's intention is teaching.
Y'all come on in.
Their vision, the things they weren't taught when they brought up as children. I introduce you to Dr. Joe Griffin. It's Dr. Joe Griffin.
Y'all get in here, get in here, get in here. Share it out, share it out. Let's go.
Speaker, consultant, and author's intention is teaching. Their talk is to broaden their vision, the things they weren't taught when they brought up as children. Reach for the top, regardless of situations, predicaments, or your conditions. He's making history, all of the districts, increasing retention from teachers. 50 to 80% that ain't all that you hear me. He is the mentor. He paved the way with his tip methodology. Really, dream, be persistent, face fears, seek change, go out and go get it. This what you learning with Dr. Joe Griffin. With Dr. Joe Griffin, yeah. He says recognize trauma, push past the pain.
Here.
If you got a problem, go look at his frame. Work your perspective and look at it change. Find a goal, set it in critical thing. Manage time, self-awareness. These are the few of the things he's trying to get you to do every day. Do every day. Led 5 schools to increase test scores with his teacher principal
70,
collaboration. Things he give to you will have you take you drive to the next level. But first, you need to get some fuel at gas station. Supporting education leaders, creating a culture for kids that'll last for ages. Lack of access to quality professional development, that's outrageous. Got his doctorate in education. Leadership, research, make changes. Need to put the kids first and raise them. Need to teach them they worth, stop playing. Later on, they gon' run this nation. Dr. Joe with his dissertation. Talk to those who would fix, make changes. I introduce you to Dr. Joe Griffin, a speaker, consultant, and author's intentions. The teaching and talk is to broaden their vision, the things they weren't taught when they brought up as children. Reach for the top, regardless of situations, predicaments, or your conditions. He's making history, all of the districts, increasing retention from teachers. 50 to 80% they ain't all that you hear me. He is the mentor. He paved the way with his dip methodology. Really, dream, be persistent, face fear.
Great day, leaders. Welcome to the Empowerment Zone, you all. Week 70. It's amazing, you all, how time flies. Welcome to the Empowerment Zone. We talk leadership dynamics, professional development, and it's all about being the best educators that we can possibly be day in, day out. Let's go. I come to encourage you today, come to empower you today. We got a great professional development lined up for you today. So welcome, get on in here, share us out, like it, all of that, help with the algorithms. We definitely need your help. We always need help. You know what I mean? We're not one of those types of service people or educational leaders that doesn't need help. And I hope you're not either, because we all need help. And with that being said, January has gone by extremely fast. Extremely fast, y'all. I don't know about for you, but for me, it came really quick. I'm surprised at how fast the year's going. But they say as you continue to get older, the years continue to accelerate. So I'm definitely seeing that for myself. So again, I want to encourage you. I want to, as always, look upon and have a moment of silence for our great nation. Through it all the bad things that we have happen to us, that are happening within our lives, within the nation, within our schools, within our communities, we still are in a wonderful state of mind to be in a great nation such as this. So just take a real brief moment for our great nation, you all. Yes, I like to do that because we all a part of it, right? We all a part of what we have going on and how we are working to empower and work with and through other people. So had a great school improvement project going on for last couple of months, and we've got a few more months before testing, actually about 2, because they test at the beginning of April. So we're going to continue, have about 14, 15 more days there where we're going to make sure that they're ready for testing. So I hope that you guys, everyone is preparing their teams, preparing yourselves also for that season. That way, it's always a great season, not a bad season. You like the season. We live for this season. This is why you do what you do as educators, right? Right. That's right. Got another professional development in Memphis, Tennessee. We're going to light Memphis up on February 13th. You all, I'm trying to tell you, PDs, when we got you all day, we're going to move you. You probably have been logging on for these 70 weeks and notice that we try to keep it energetic. We try to keep it positive. We try to give you strategies that you can use in your schools, right? We try to collaborate, bounce ideas, all of that. So we want to continue doing all of that as well. And on the 13th in Memphis, Tennessee, we're going to set them on fire, and they're going to sure enough be ready. Sure enough, be ready for state assessment and beyond, state assessments and beyond, right? And beyond. Everything we do is all about beyond as well. Let's see what we got here in the comments. Good afternoon, Dr. Sheikah Houston. Definitely appreciate you all had a wonderful show this morning as well. Great afternoon, Coach Doc Makita G. Appreciate you. Thank you so much, as always, for sharing out like you do. We appreciate you so much. Thank you so much, Coach. Yes, indeed. And everyone else, as you all start to come in, make sure that you let us know where you're streaming in from as well. And as we get started, you all, of course, the topic, the main professional development topic today is making sure that you don't get caught off guard. Don't get caught off guard. Strong now equals a strong finish, right? Yeah. I understand that. Strong now equals a strong finish. And I deliberately said it that way because if you're in a present state of mind at all times and you constantly are being strong now, you can't help but have a strong finish, right? You can't help but have a strong finish. And when we start thinking about that, one of the hardest things to do, and we're going into our prelude, y'all. We hot today. We about to cook. We on fire. We loving what we do. And the fact that you are here with me, so thankful. Love you all. I appreciate you all. Keep coming out, you all. All right, so the hardest time to stay disciplined is right before the results matter the most. I'm going to let that sink in for a minute, you all. Look like I'm going to need my charge. But I'm going to let that sink in for a minute because the hardest time is when things matter the most, right? Let me plug up real quick, y'all. Just give me a second. I don't want to cut off on you. We had internet issues last week as well. We're going to make sure we take this out. That up. Hope that don't turn anything else off. In 1 second, y'all. We almost plugged in. We're going in today. Thank you for being patient with me. All right. The hardest time to stay disciplined is right when the results matter the most. You say, what you talking about, Joe? You always got these different analogies that go with school, that go with leadership, that go with life, that we can plug in all our different areas because I like to think deeply. I like to push the needle, and I like to be able to exercise control over outcomes. And when you realize that the hardest time to stay disciplined is right before the results matter the most, you're thinking like, wow. Because think about it. In life, people quit the gym right before they start toning up their muscles. Right when they start really getting themselves together with their wellness, they kind of just slide off. Right? In school, I think about getting a doctoral degree. The hardest part was at the last part because a lot of times people want you to quit. A lot of times there's a feeling that it's gotten too tough, that I've gone as far as I can go. But no. That's the devil trying to make you stop possibly your purpose, trying to make you stop having that success that you've already seen for yourself and for your team. You got to keep going, right? So even with this assessment season, even with whatever you're doing in your life, you're going to notice that it gets tougher when the results are getting ready to come in. Fatigue start talking to you. It say, what? Slow down. You're working too hard. Why are you doing all of this? Why are you going out of your way? Oh, you can't impact the results. You can only do so much, and so many other cliches that we hear about. when we in that battle, when we in that fight. But guess what? When fatigue whispers slow down, purpose got to kick in and tell you tighten up. Don't you stop. Keep going. Be resilient. Be who you're supposed to be. Be who you're born to be, and keep working through it because you were born to do it. That's the truth, y'all. So we got to understand that what slip up now is going to show up later. So we can't afford to allow ourselves, our schools, our communities slip. The hardest time to stay disciplined is right before the results come. So don't you lose focus right now, y'all. Don't lose focus. Yeah, you came back on fire in January. Now you see people starting to slow back up again, right? Well, you got to fire them up. We can't slow up. We got to keep going. We got to keep pushing the envelope. That's the only way the needle is going to move, is that we keep pushing it. So good. February, just know that as you get into February, because it's the 31st now, it's not a time to slow down. It's time to pick up the momentum. It's time to pick up the momentum. This is where your focus has to lock in, right? This is where your focus has to lock in. So the hardest time to stay disciplined, y'all, is right before the results matter the most. And you keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. You're not going to let yourself go down the wrong slide or the wrong slope. You're going to keep it going because you already knowing what you have to do. And as we go through, let's look, we got a few more. Yeah. Definitely appreciate. Great afternoon, Dr. Evelyn Washington, streaming from Rome, Mississippi. Definitely appreciate you. Great to see you. I actually passed through Rome on the other day. Since the ice has been down as well, because I'm in the South working up school improvement project right now. So I actually got through Rome. Yeah, it was slippery slide, but we got through that. So great to have you join the PD cast. Welcome. Definitely appreciated you all. So as we get into our topic for today, don't get caught off guard. I'm gonna give you some questions to think about. I'm gonna give you some implementations as always, and we want to actually do what we say we're going to do to not get caught off guard. That's a choice. Yeah, it's a choice whether or not you get caught off guard or not, because we're going to prepare to not be. That's what it's about when you're seeking excellence. When you're trying to be excellent, that's what you continue to do. So check the culture, y'all. You got to continue to do culture checks. You got to continue to check the scores. You got to continue to check the culture before you can actually check the scores. Before that comes around, you got to make sure that the adults are still buying in, that the students are engaged. You say, what are some look fors, Dr. Joe? What are some things that I can ask myself? What are some things that I can review within my current situation in our setting to help me determine whether or not my culture is prepared to go down this stretch? Because we don't want to get caught off guard. We don't want to get caught off guard. Are the teachers still collaborating, or they just surviving? I'm not trying to step on anybody's toes today, but you know and I know we've been in situations where we got teachers just surviving, where they're not thriving, where they're not collaborating, they're not working together. So what can we do? Those are some questions that we've got to think about. Are the adult to adult tensions affecting classroom tone, affecting the mood, the culture, the climate within your classrooms? Because that's got to be figured out. We've got to manage those situations right now, because our students can't afford to wait. And those that we're serving, they can't afford to wait. So it is on us to ensure that we're always monitoring the culture, asking these types of questions. Is the communication proactive or is it reactive? Do I assume and do I get information brought to me as a reaction, or is it being proactive so that we can do something about it? Because the thing is, if we set a tone of proactiveness within our school culture, we start to get ahead of all the types of different situations, because people are going to bring you things. They're going to bring you ideas. They're going to let you know sometimes that this is about to happen. And now we can bridge that gap to ensure that the communication continues. So is the communication proactive or is it reactive? Are we constantly find ourselves reacting to the many things that happen within our school culture? This is a very deep question that you got to ask yourself, because you can get caught in a rabbit hole and just putting out fires. And kids not even learning, but you putting out all the fires. You making sure that the discipline is getting better, but the instruction isn't. See, discipline culture plus instructional practice equals the performance. You got to have it all. You got to cover both of those domains, because inside of those domains are also various other variables that are going to impact what you have going on with your results. So you got to make sure that you got a strong now. And remember, we talk about being in the present, strong now. If I'm strong now and I constantly and I'm always in the present, I can't help but have a strong finish. That's whether I'm in January or whether I'm in December. That's whether I'm in the first semester or the second semester. That's wherever I am and whatever I'm doing. If I'm strong now in my endeavor, in what I'm doing in my activity, I can't help but have a strong finish. So ask those three questions, right? Ask those three questions as you checking your culture. If you're just joining us, please make sure you get back. Just gave three thoughtful, reflective questions that you need to ask yourself as you check your culture moving forward, because you don't want to get caught off guard, right? I've told you before about 2x7s, 2 minutes a day, 7 days in a row. You're checking on an adult, making sure that you got that interaction piece, right? Those are crucial interactions. We checking temperatures when we do those. We need to revisit our meeting norms. Last month, when we came back from January, we asked you to go ahead and have those individual one-on-ones with all of your people to make sure you revisit all of those different problems that you had, because you want to get ahead of them. Now, you coming down the stretch, you getting ready to go into a month of momentum. Remember, we said February is our month of momentum. You want to come back in, you're going to revisit our norms for the meetings. We're going to make sure that everything that we talk about is not about gripes, but it's about growth. It's about data. It's about instruction. It's not about those things that we can't change. Because we can get down in a rabbit hole with this. So revisit those meeting norms. That's crucial. That's a crucial implementation move if you're going to finish strong with your culture. Remember, culture is going to drive the instruction. So you got to constantly dig back into it. Don't take your feet off the gas. Don't get caught slipping. Don't think that your school's on autopilot. And I use that word because I had a professional tell me the other day, we on autopilot now. Well, you just moved from an F to a D, but now you're on autopilot, right? We got to constantly look at what we're saying, think about what we're saying. We can't be on autopilot. You can't be on autopilot if you're in A school. You got to constantly be in the business of making sure students and teachers have the opportunity to succeed, to flourish, to get better. That's crucial. And as leaders, we have to ensure that that occurs. So those quick appreciation loops. Yeah, go through and talk to your people. Let them know that, look, this is a trying time. I know that August through January, it wasn't always peaches and roses. We had some disruptions. We had a few distractions, but guess what? We're focused, we're centered, we're together, we are a team, and guess what? We coming down the line. We're not getting caught off guard. Strong now, no matter where you're at across the year, equals a strong finish, no matter what you're doing in your life. You can put that in a bag. Let's go, y'all. And if you liking what I'm saying, definitely feel free to comment. How you doing, brother Josh Tovar? I appreciate you checking in. Culture all year long. Culture is year long. That's right. This is good, Doc. Appreciate you. That's my classmate right there. Appreciate you, sister Tasha Tucker. I didn't know you listened to me. Appreciate you, girl. Definitely appreciate it. Brother Stokes, you in the building. How you doing, man? And again, as always, Coach Doc McKee Jill. Check your temperature of your building. Woo! You got to check your temperature, y'all. We're going in today. If you did not know, definitely appreciate the participation, appreciate the collaboration, y'all. We got to do it. We got to do it. So we said we're going to check that culture, true enough. But here's the other side of that. Your instruction must not drift. I'm going to say that again. January, that energy from January, it can turn into easy going come February if you don't make sure you re-energize, reinvigorated, recharged all year long, right? That's something that we have to continue to do, to refuel. We have to continue to re-synergize. Like, we got to keep going. We never have it all in place. Sometimes we think we got it all in place, but then you realize when you become self-aware, I'll never have it all in place. They'll never have it all in place. No matter how good they are, they can't have it all in place. It's something that they can learn from me, and it's something I can learn from them. Then we go after it. Then we keep going. Ooh-wee, y'all. So instruction, again, it can't drift. Some questions. I told you I got some questions for you today. We've been thinking about this because coming down those assessment streamlines, as I like to call them, because I know the feeling, being in that principal seat for about 15 years. I know what it's about come January. That's pressure from everywhere. And a lot of times, as the leader, as teachers in the building, other people don't realize what you're going through. They don't understand the scrutiny that you're under. They don't understand the work that you're having to put in every single day in order to hopefully not just survive, as we talked about at the top, but so that you can thrive, so that you push out a good product, so you can push out a product that's not perfect, but is excellent. But it's excellent. It meets what you need. It goes above and beyond, right? That's crucial. So now you want to think, our lessons still being planned with intention. Ooh, are they still being planned with intention? What you say, they got the plan. I know, but have they gotten used to you just coming, doing an eye check? And maybe it's not as intentional anymore. Maybe it doesn't include your MTSS processes. Maybe it doesn't let you know what's going on with the homework. Maybe it doesn't let you know what type of instructional practices are actually being used to gain or to master these skills that they're saying master, that they want the students to master. So that's something that we got to check about right now. Because guess what? It's somebody on this call who hadn't looked at a lesson plan since August, and Mike didn't look at them then. So this will be a perfect time to recalibrate that, to go in, make sure that you are doing it and that your teachers are on track and on target and on pace, and make sure that the students are moving forward. We can't move forward standing still. Let that sink in. We can't move forward standing still. We can't move forward just being on autopilot. We can't move forward just being satisfied with how far we've come. No, that won't get it. That won't get it. And you got it, so you got to make sure you get it. You got it. It's all up in you. So I hope this is invigorating to you today, because like I said, we coming strong with it today. We talked about your signature instructional strategies. Y'all know I'm a big proponent of signature instructional strategies. Those strategies that you push through your building no matter what. Those strategies that you can count on to get high yields. Those strategies that allow students to collaborate and work together. These are your highly impactful strategies. But are they still visible? Are they still being used? Right? Are they still being used? And it's February. Well, it's January, but you'll be February when you go back Monday. Are you still implementing those same practices that you were so fired up about in August, that you came back fired up about in January? Or have you slipped off? See, a fall off doesn't happen immediately. You drift into it. You see it coming. You realize the practices have been loosened, are not as tight as they were. But you turn your head, you keep going. You say, oh, it's going to be all right. That's my star teacher. They do a great job all of the time. So you allow the slippage. But guess what? Your students shouldn't have to go through that. Your students shouldn't have to go through an adult's slippage. I'm going to say it again because I mean it. A student shouldn't have to be affected by an adult's slippage. You can write that down because it's true. Another question, are the students talking, writing, engaging, or are they just sitting down? See, when we go into a classroom right now, we've had students in classes, unless you're on a full block schedule, they've been in your classes now about 5 to 6 months. August, September, October, November, December, January. So are they talking? Because now we've already had a chance to build community, or are they still doing sit and get work? That's something you got to think about. Is this the worksheet queen or the worksheet king class? Something you got to think about. But if we're going to not get caught off guard, these are things that we have to monitor now and continue to monitor so that we can ensure that our kids, that our students are successful, and so that teachers have the capacity to grow. We all need help. We all need support. I don't know why you sitting up there thinking you don't need any help, because you do, and I do too. We all need, and it's okay. It's okay. In fact, it's a good thing. We work with and through people. That's a powerful thing. That's empowerment. That's why we in the empowerment zone, PDCast, right now, y'all. I appreciate y'all so much. You just don't know. So are your teachers bringing those high impact strategies to PLCs? See, you might want to have that discussion, because now it might be the time where we go from 2 PLCs per month to a weekly PLC. And I might need each of you to discuss your signature instructional strategy that you're using individually, and then we can also collaborate on the signature strategies that we're pushing through the school, because we want to keep the main thing. We want to continue the focus. We don't want to get caught off guard. And if we stop using our highest yield instructional practices, we can't have a strong now for a strong finish. It doesn't add up. So we got to make sure it adds up, right? Another thing, and this is crucial, y'all. You have heard me mention it, but again, I'm giving you something so we can take back on Monday and ensure that it's happening, because you already got it happening. There's no way you at your school, you're leading and you're teaching in a classroom and you don't have these things happening, right? And if you don't have them happening, that's okay too. Just add. But your bell ringers and your exit tickets, I mentioned that they must be aligned to the state assessment in complexity and format. But has that stopped? Has someone down the line just start writing up a question? How was your weekend? Write me a sentence on what you did last night. I've seen these things in the classroom. Or do they continue to take the time to go and get a state formatted bell ringer and exit ticket to place on the board or to project on the board, so they can get that experience of having those state assessment questions before them? Because now that's 2 state assessment questions every single day at least. And think about if they're going on across the board in all of your classes. That's a lot of test exposure. That's a lot of reps. We gain confidence through the reps. We gain confidence by doing it over and over and over again. That's how you get good at something. You don't get good at something by not doing it. You get good at it by doing it. And you got to continue to do it and not worry about being perfect. I'm so glad I kicked that bone. I want to put my feet up in there. I kicked that perfection bone. I used to be a perfectionist, but guess what? You can do so much more just trying to be excellent. Ooh, are we talking good? I know we are, y'all. Go with me. Let's see what we got in the comments. Y'all. We're going to keep on going. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Share the show, everyone. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Show your staff and students that you care. Yes, coach. Yes, coach. That is the hardest. Josh said that's the hardest, not raising the letter grade, but keeping it and not dropping it. Yes, 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 yes. Let's see what Tosh. Yes, I've been going and teaching hard this month than in August. I love to hear that. I love to hear that. That's what it's all about. Can't move forward standing still. Yes, indeed. Just like the rocket chair. You're moving but not going anywhere. Josh say, what Josh say? If you check instruction August and September, but you stop after, you are faking the fun. Ain't that the truth? Isn't that the truth, John? You're faking the fun. You got to keep it going. We can't get tired. You can't let that fatigue whisper in your ear. You got to let that purpose speak loud and clear. I'm just rhyming good today. I don't know where it's coming from, but you got to let that purpose speak loud and clear. And that's the truth, you all. That's the truth. Let's see. And as we continue to go, we got another little section, y'all. And one thing about it, performance, it's gonna be built quietly. It's not a something that you do overnight. It's something that you continue to do. That's why we're revisiting these things that we need to check, because it's February, almost. It's January 31st, but it's almost February, and you don't want to be on autopilot. You don't want to be we just trying to get through the year. I can't handle. I hate to hear a leader say we just trying to get through it. What you mean? You sound so fearful, but aren't you out front? No, because if you got that attitude, those people that you're leading, they see that in you. They see that fear in you. They see you're a scary leader. They don't want that. They want someone that's fearless, and that's fierce about ensuring that students achieve and ensuring that teachers have support so they can professionally develop. So when you think about this, are we reviewing the data? You keeping up with the data? You keeping up with the data? No, not your August data, not your first semester data, but your data now. Your January data. What does it look like? What does that teacher data look like? What does that whatever software system that you're using look like? I'm not going to shout them out. I'm not going to shout those software systems out. You know the ones that you're using. Whichever one that you're using, are you monitoring the data? Are your struggling students getting the support that they need? Or are you just doing MTSS interventions on paper? I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings, but I know where they do MTSS on paper. I know where they just put them on the program so that they can get the data charts and say that they had them in an MTSS tier 3 intense program. And the data shows that they were having the intense interventions, right? But when you're educated like me and you really care and you want systems that going to actually move students, you don't let that happen. See, I know what it feels like to be the minority, as the black male, to be the minority, as the only black in the room, all of that. So when that's on your table, you got to make sure that students getting the best out of you and those that you serve and those that are helping you serve them. It's crucial, it's imperative, it's power. And guess what? It leads to empowerment. Again, are those interventions active or you just got them listed out? Are those students getting the support that they need? Or are you just sending them to the inclusion teacher room? I know where these things happen. Are you not giving the tier 2 supplemental instruction that you need? You're not doing any one-on-one. See, getting this science of reading certification has opened my eyes up even more to the fact that I can ignore you in the classroom and claim as if I taught you to read or tried to teach you to read because you heard me giving the sounds of the letters. You saw me reviewing the letters, but that's not the same as me coming, giving you elbow to elbow support, giving you love, giving you confidence in your ear, telling you that you can do it, giving you that SEL piece added to that explicit instruction. Yeah, that's powerful in itself, you all. So one of the things that you can do to make sure that you're staying on track, do a 10-minute huddle. It doesn't have to always be a big meeting. I used to do Friday roundups, right? Friday roundup, and the staff, they love them. It's actually one of the strategies in the DIP approach for educator success manual. If you haven't gotten it, make sure you've gotten that one, as well as the Empowering Educational Leaders, a guide for teacher principal collaboration. Those are two powerful books. And I say that not just because I wrote them, because I did, but I know what's in them, right? So think about those things, but those daily huddles, 10-minute weekly huddles, rather, not daily, a weekly huddle, sometimes to replace a meeting. That's going to be crucial. That's powerful. And that's something that everyone is going to respect you for, because now you're respecting their time. I don't have to call you in for an entire meeting all the time. If it's something that we can handle in a huddle, we can just have a quick shout out. Me and my team we used to have a break. 1, 2, 3 Tiger faculty, 1, 2, 3 Eagle faculty, 1, 2, 3 Lions faculty, whatever the faculty name is. After this 10-minute huddle on a Friday afternoon, Friday roundups, that eliminated the Wednesday meeting. That eliminated the Wednesday meeting on some weeks. That allows us to come in informally, to have relationships, to talk amongst ourselves and be productive at the same time, to celebrate our wins at the same time, to shout out other faculty members at the same time. Culture and instruction go together to boost performance. Discipline culture plus instructional practice equals performance, y'all. Y'all, we've been putting this down. This week 70. Y'all can't tell I'm excited. This week 7, we've been going out. And look, none of the shows are the same. You can actually go to them, check them out, and learn how to run a school, right? Of course, you got to implement. Of course, you got to practice. Of course, you got to put in the time, because there's a lot of time that's been put in to get to this. But you can do it. And guess what? Many of you already are. That's why I appreciate y'all so much, because I know you are, right? And this the last thing under this piece right here before we get to the last. We talked about data talks with kids. At the beginning of the year, we talked about reviewing them. But now, guess what? Check in with them. Check in with them. See how those goals are coming. See where they are with their goals and how that's looking. Powerful, y'all. Remember, if we don't panic. We don't panic. We prepare. We don't panic. We prepare. We give support. We stretch, right? That's what we do, you all. That's what we do. And that's what it's all about. Look, Keita, definitely appreciate you chiming in. You are talking good, Dr. Joe. Thank you so much, Coach. Thank you so much, Coach. I appreciate that. We appreciate the love, you all. And as we get to this final section, you all, I'm going to say this to you. And you might believe, you might not. You might can see it, you might can't. But energy is a leadership skill. What you mean? Yeah. And I'm not talking about charisma. They go together. They can't go together. But energy is a leadership skill. Fatigue is natural. People get tired, but slipping is optional. Whether you are going to allow yourself to fall prey to the fatigue, whether you're going to be re-energized, rejuvenated, and revived to defeat the fatigue and keep your team moving forward. What you going to do? It's a leadership skill. Energy is a leadership skill. How you maintain, how you remain is resilient through it all. Right? That's going to reflect in how you show up. That's going to reflect in who you are. That's going to reflect in how the people see you. That's going to reflect in your results at the end of the day. That's going to reflect in your data, because your teachers are not working extremely hard with you to get the data unless you treat them right. You can act like you didn't hear me if you want to. You can act like you didn't hear me if you want to, right? But how you going to keep your energy up? Protect your planning time, right? You got to make sure that you protect your planning time, because planning allows you to show the energy. If you're not planned, you can't be energetic, because you're constantly fumbling, trying to figure out what it is you got to do next because you didn't have a plan in mind, right? So energy is a leadership skill. Planning is crucial, and you got to protect that planning time if you want your energy to be at the level that you need it to be. Keep your messages hopeful, even when they're heavy. Even when you got to be heavy on the message, when you got to come down on somebody, when you got to try to fix a situation that seemed unrectifiable. Still be hopeful. Still spread hope. Still have a message of hope. Still have a message that we will get through this. Still have a message that we will win, that we will not stop, that we will be who we need to be. Through it all. Right? We talking excellence. That's what it's all about, you all. So celebrate those small wins. That's crucial for confidence. That's crucial for morale. Every small win, celebrate it. Celebrate. And that's whether it's with your highest producing teacher or whether it's with your lowest performing teacher. Celebrate those wins. With your great students or your students who struggle. Celebrate those wins because those wins add up and they lead to additional growth. Growth equals more growth. So that encouragement, it's going to sustain the effort. It's going to help sustain the effort. It's going to help minimize the pressure. It's going to relieve. That's why you always want your messages to remain hopeful. Hopeful, not heavy. I did a PD a couple of months ago, and the principal, he brought me in, and he ripped into the staff. I'm talking about a good 15, 20, maybe 25-minute tongue lashing like I hadn't heard since my old principal talked to us real bad back in the day when I was second year teacher. Some of you may have heard that story. But he ripped him out. Then I had to provide a PD behind it. I had to provide a staff meeting behind the ripping of the staff. So I just say that to tell you to keep your messaging hopeful, even when it's heavy, even when you got to tear into somebody, even when you got to break down to rebuild them. Even when you break down someone, if you're keeping them around, especially, you got to make sure you rebuild them. You can't break them down and not build them back up and think that you're being successful with those people. Self-awareness, right? Self-awareness. So all of that. And as we get ready to close, just think about the adult support. Think about the adult support. Think about the collaboration. When you're talking about your instruction, think about the strategy, consistency, how often your signature practices are being used, and what that implementation looks like as far as engagement. Not doing something, but what are we not only learning, but what are we getting out of it? What are our students gaining from being able to engage in the content? What type of facilitation skills are the teacher building by allowing this signature strategy to live in their classroom? Yeah, it's got to live there. That's why it's a signature. We're not talking about fly by night. We're not talking about worksheet. We're talking about what type of signature strategies are you using that are going to build up student success. And those daily adjustments, that's going to boost up the end of the year results, y'all. It's going to boost up the end of the year results. So we think about that, you all. Let's see what we got. We got a few more comments in before we get ready. It's all in the messaging. Yes, indeed. Principal Fele, appreciate you, Principal. I would have wanted to leave at that point. I know that's right. We on fire today, Principal Fele. Definitely appreciate you as always. You had a wonderful show today. Also, those two guys did a great job of carrying the conversation, and of course, you always lead and guide. So we appreciate everybody today, you all. As we get ready to close, just want to ask you just continue to live, learn, love with your heart. Continue to be courageous so that you can drive out all fear. And continue to search for wisdom so that you can live in your true purpose in your lives, your community, your school, and in all that you do. Peace and much love. See you next week, y'all. Thank you so much. Appreciate that, brother Fele.